Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us. It's the first edition of the show for the week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. And of course, we'll be talking about the FIFA Women's World Cup. It will dominate our thoughts on the show tonight. And we'll do our best to also give you a slice of what is happening here at home, especially at the grassroots. Of course, it's a two-man show, as you know. Of course, my colleague, Austin Okorakman, is with me as we take this ride together. And of course, many things to talk about, but a good way to start the show.
Sporting greetings to you, Yemi, and a shout out to everyone joining us on the show tonight. Still an action-packed world of sports. The women still giving us reasons to talk because we're still having fun with the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. And what a story. I mean, we wanted upsets, and oh boy, we've seen upsets. We wanted beautiful goals, and we've seen fantastic goals. So the women telling us once again that what the men can give, we can give even more, you know. So now we know the Super Falcons will play in the round of 16, and the Lionesses of England. Football will give us a winner, I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Football will give us a winner. It's going to be a loaded show. Our colleague Cecilia Morogwe will be joining us shortly as we go into that segment where we're going to be talking everything in Group B and the FIFA Women's World Cup. And we also have lined up for you a former Super Falcons star. Hopefully she comes through for us even as we go on the show. But first, let me just quickly introduce our partner in the Lagos studio as he joins us now. Kehinde Idris joins us now. And Kehinde Idris, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight. Your thoughts now, just like Austin said, now we know we're going to be facing the Lionesses.
Yeah, exciting moment. It's good to be here, by the way. It's Tuesday, always looking forward to. Good evening to Austin also. Exciting time. I think, firstly, I'm still basking in the euphoria of what the Super Falcons were able to do. Because if you look at it, Australia, Canada were tipped to take, both spots, and then Nigeria, even by, a margin, would have been, the table toppers or the group toppers at the end of the day. But now, they're in the round of 16, and they had to play the Lionesses of, England. And that's a tough call. Experience-wise, look at all of the ladies, the kind of viable league they are playing in and all of that. Just today, James, the James sister, she set a World Cup record, the youngest player.
We're going to get into all of that. I think we should just go straight into that segment where all we do is to talk about the Super Falcons. And let's just quickly tell you that this segment is brought to you by Stanbic IBTC, the official insurance partner of the Super Falcons. And just like I said, it's going to be robust. We're going to have conversations all over. And, let me just piggyback and go to Austin. Kehinde Idris is already rattling the cage, and talking about England, So since we're there, why don't we just start from there? Now we know what we're going to be facing. But a lot of people have said the Lionesses, probably there's not much to fear. That's what a lot of people say. But maybe their experience may shine through. But I don't know, your thoughts. You seem to know this team well.
Yeah, and I told you that this team, they will keep getting better match after match. And what a time to pick momentum, when they're going into the round of 16 to play a decent Nigerian team. And today against China, they just showed their quality. They had to step it up because the Chinese team is also a decent one that can stun this English team. And I've always said it that Coach Sarina knows how to set up with this team. And oh boy, they turned up when they needed to turn on. Lauren James, she's just 21. She's the younger sister of Rhys James. They both play for Chelsea Football Club right here in England. And she turned up. Gracious goodness, I think she scored the tournament best goal for at the moment. And she probably would have gotten a hat-trick if not for VAR that chopped off one. But 6-1 is a resounding result for the Lionesses. That's the sort of, result that they want to use to, face Nigeria that can stun any team. Now they know that this is a World Cup where you cannot underrate any team. And if you're still doubting, go see what Colombia did to Germany. Go see how the United States of America struggled against debutants, Portugal, at the World Cup. In fact, the United States of America, the defending champions, they were lucky not to lose today against Portugal. So those are some of the things the Super Falcons can take into this game against England. And if you ask me, I'll say it's even because the Super Falcons have played stronger teams. They survived Canada, world number 7, an Olympics champion, defeated the host, Australia, that is respected in women's football, and then they lose against Ireland. Showed good character in that match. Meanwhile, the Lionesses of England played 2 lightweight teams and struggled to win 1-0. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. The Netherlands, they are no lightweight teams, but they had to dig deep to beat Netherlands 1-0. And of course, Haiti was the pushover, and they struggled to also win by a slim goal margin. But the Super Falcons rose up to the occasion when they needed to. And I think that's the sort of spirit they should take into the game against the Lionesses of England, because everybody's already writing them off and saying, oh, I see what the media right here in England, they're already saying they are so happy that they are meeting Nigeria. But this is football where anything, just about anything can happen. You know what? Let's bring in the ladies into the conversation here. In Helsinki, Finland, Aisat Yusuf, former Super Falcons player, will join us on the show. She's been there, done that. She's won the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. She went to 3 World Cups. She has Olympics experience, and she's in Helsinki rooting for the Super Falcons. Aisat Yusuf, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Austin, for having me. It's actually a pleasure to be here today. I'm so glad. It's a privilege to, to once again talk on your show. I'm here, Channel TV, which is one of the biggest media, and I always love to be part of it. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Nigeria in general for this amazing victory, and my heart gratitude go to the Super Falcons in general. For me, they've played so well from the, I haven't tried to come out from the stage group, because I knew from the onset that I'm very optimistic that even before now, 70% of Nigerians wouldn't have believed that the Falcons would be able to, come to the top during the stage group. We all know how Canada played. They're one of the best teams in the world. And Australia, the host country to the World Cup, it's like you're playing against the whole country in general, which is a big thing. So I think for me, I give it to them. They actually played well. They play as a team. There were a lot of team spirit. I'm super proud of them, regardless. But the fact that we know that even the preparation was not really superb for them before the World Cup. But I think they know why they're there. They have to just put on what they've got to let Nigeria understand that, hey, we can do it. And I think for me, it's really an amazing thing to see them scale through that kind of a group. And now they're in a group of 16. So which I believe with the same spirit, they're going to forge ahead. People are talking about England. With all due respect, I know England have a very fantastic team. But for me, I think they're beatable if they put all their effort together and go for it. This is the teamwork, and we have to give it all it takes, because this is why we are here to do this. So for me, once again, I want to congratulate them in advance, and I appreciate all their efforts that they put together the games. I wish them all the best of luck.
You know what? Nigerians would join your faith and wish them congratulations in advance. But let's go to Brisbane. My colleague Cecilia Omorogbe is standing by. Cecilia, it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Great to be here again.
Also, Cecilia, now the Super Falcons know that they will be meeting the Lionesses of England in the round of 16. I'm sure the singing and dancing have stopped.
I think they knew that, because at the press conference, I actually asked the coach concerning England and the way he has set up his own team. He talked about them because he said 2 or 3 of his players, of the players from England, the school in the US, he was also trying to recruit one of the players into his own school in Houston then before he went to Pittsburgh. So he followed some of the players. He knows what they can actually do. So we're already talking about England, even after the game against Republic of Ireland. At that time, England has 6 points. They're going to face China. And of course, obviously they will qualify. And if you listen to what Ashley Bronson was saying, she was actually anticipating England. So the anticipation was there. There was always going to be England. You're talking about celebration and dancing. Yes, it is tough because, Super Falcons just have one day, for today now. I mean, is the next day already here in Brisbane, because it's past 6 a.m. already. We're 9 hours ahead. And that Tuesday was a rest day for them. So they had the opportunity to actually go out, have a feel of what the city is like. Went to Mount Kutha Forest, to just have relaxed atmosphere. The parents of Alozie, Michelle Alozie, they were with her, so they just have a good time, just relaxing and not really worried. But I think by later today, of course, the work is obviously going to start. Yes, celebrations over. Yes, they will be back to business later today, because for the Super Falcons, they understand what this is. Because when I actually posed the question to the coach, if he understands what he has done for Nigeria, because for the first time in the history of the Women's World Cup, 9 appearances we've had, we've never been past the group stage unbeaten. He's been able to achieve that. So he wants to achieve more. And then when I was talking to some of the players, because we just had this free time, we're gisting and all, interviews were not allowed. It was just for them to relax and be calm. So I had the opportunity to be with them. I was asking them, what are you just playing for? Most of them were saying, for my country, for my family. And of course, now, for the money. So now, when you look at the fact you got $60,000, and you can earn more when you move into the next round. You know what that means. So they know what they're playing for. They understand the mission. They've made history going out to the group stage unbeaten, scoring 3 goals, conceding 2. I mean, we've never seen that before. Yes, we might have some defensive lapses and everything, but these are some of the things the coach actually said he will work on.
Yeah, let me take it back to Yemi in Lagos. Yemi and Kehinde Idris, I'm sure when Aisat Yusuf said she's congratulating the Super Falcons in advance, you guys said a loud amen.
Yeah, definitely. We were saying here, unfortunately, you guys couldn't have heard what we were saying. Even with all the people, the crew with us, we had a very good conversation before we came on set, and we all agreed that the Super Falcons have lifted the mood in the country. That's what they've been able to achieve in 3 matches. In spite of all the issues, we're not really talking about it. Even people who don't watch women's football are beginning to ask us questions. When are they playing? Who are they facing? And it's very interesting to see that happen, not with the men's game, but the ladies, and that's what they've been able to achieve. But can you just let me go to you quickly, because we have a lot of things to do. Do you think we need to do anything differently? When I say we now, Super Falcons.
Yeah, I doubt if we need so much, differently, except for the approach as in how we start every game. It seems like we're always waiting, to soak up pressure. First 20, 25 minutes, it happened in virtually all the games, except, for the higher land game. But for Canada and Australia, it went that way. And if you're taking mode of team, probably that is the reason why they play that way. I think England is in that, is in that circle. Canada seem like, more informed than the Super Falcons right now. Australia, informed team and also host nation. So maybe that's the reason why they set up that way. If we go out against England that way, I think it might be a little funny. But if something had worked for you, how can you really go against it? Probably this is the period where, they go back to doing the same thing, but doing it a little better. All right. I think the team will be good for it.
Okay. Aishat is listening to you. Aisha, thanks for joining us once again. Yemi from Lagos here. I just asked our guests in the studio if we needed to change anything when the girls play against the Lionesses. As somebody who has played the game, as somebody who has been on that level, you seem to be quite impressed with the Falcons so far. But when they come against the Lionesses, do you think anything needs to change, or it has to remain the same way?
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good question, because just like Mr. Kehinde said, I think we have to approach England game. To be honest, it's a crucial game. We have to approach this game with everything in us, because England, they have really good players, and most of the players are very young. Like on the person of James, the number 10, Maya, and so other people that play in the team. And England are very good at playing this long game, and they use their wings a lot. So if you don't approach them on how they play, and based on our tactics, of course, I don't know the coaching principle or how you want them to play the starting game, but we need to have more people that can be very creative in the midfield, and someone that can be able to mark, and also our defenders have to be very vigilant and stay at alert. Because if we play the same way we play against Highland, for example, against England, I'm sorry to say this, it's not going to be funny at all. You cannot compare the way England plays to Highland, because they have different way of playing. So I think for me, the best thing for them to have in mind is that you playing against England, it's not the same way you played against Highland. And for the fact that we all understand that football is sometimes it might be funny, but if they start with the seriousness from the blast of the whistle till the last minutes of the whistle, that everyone have to do their job on the field, regardless of anything, because this is a give and take thing. If you play anything funny, we're out. So my advice to them is for them to know that everyone has to do their role on the field of play, and we should be all vigilant from the attacking position as well. Our attacker have to be very, very aggressive in this way. If I don't know who is starting the game, but regardless of anyone that starts, either Oshuala or Paranoze or Ifoma, everyone from the goalkeeper to the top strikers have to put in their 120% effort. By doing this, I'm very optimistic that, for me, I think no team is Ireland, and England, like I said, they are beatable in as much as we put our effort and played well as a team. Team spirit, team game, and collective effort. Sometimes we have some players that are really good and creative quality, but team effort is more important than playing an individual game when it comes to a game that matters.
Yeah.
Because this game for me is a game that matters most, that can make us to forge ahead. So this is what I have to my input concerning the next
Okay. Katie is whispering into my ear. Of course, Austin said it many times, finalist with the Netherlands last time out, and Nigeria will be hoping to cut short our journey, especially now that they're going to be facing us. Let me go to, of course, my colleague Cecilia Moroge. She's still with us. Cecilia, now it's time to talk about our opponents and the vibes you're getting from the few people you've spoken to. Not the players now, but probably fans, Nigerian journalists, Nigerian people that you've come across. What's their impression about England? Back home, a lot of people feel that the English side is experienced. They've not been fantastic in this tournament, but they're experienced, and a lot of people are scared. But I don't know if that's the case with the people you've spoken to.
Yeah, if you say they've not been fantastic in this tournament, I mean, for a team to put 6 past China, we know how good they are when it comes to football, 6-1. And then you're talking about Laurie James, you're talking about Rousseau, you're talking about Cleo Kelly, who scored the winner for England when they won the Euros. I mean, this is a team coming into the tournament. I was one of the favorites. Yes, they had some injury worries, but you're having some players now back from injury, and then the way the coach is setting up 3-4-1-2 formation. That's how he's setting up. And then when you have the players that can score, it's always that. But from here, from the fans that I've spoken to, before England played China, they had that belief that, yes, we can, if we set up well. Because we'll get to understand that the coach tends to set up based on the opponent he wants to play. Like when we posed the question to him, why Aziz has had to start, since he knows, he understands, he's trying to manage her. And the reply was, he wanted us to get goals early so they won't be nervous. And then second half will be. That was the reason. Maybe against England is going to set up differently. But after some of the fans watched the game against England and everything, I mean, the story is changing, saying that we need to maybe bring in Okpara and see how she can, she's one of those strikers. You can never predict what she's going to give you on the field of play. When I mean not predicting, she has a way of bullying defenders. So we need a player like that. And we understand also that some of the fans saying that we know Serena Wigman was a central defender when she was playing football. You know how she took Netherlands from nowhere to winning Euros. So having this pedigree shows a lot what she could actually do with the English national team. And when you look at all this, and then you look at the Super Falcons setup, there's just that fear. What is going to happen? Yes, we've been able to beat Olympic champions. Yes, we've been able to beat Australia, the co-host, despite the fans. And of course, for England, they are coming to Brisbane. Super Falcons are remaining in Brisbane. England hasn't been here. They've been playing in another city. So just look at these two things and you put it together and you understand that the confidence is not as high as it was before England played China. So after the China game, some of that switching, but if it's where we get, then it's fine. But there are some fans, especially the administrators, who said that, look, with the way Super Falcons are set up, they are fearless. And if they are fearless, so simply means they can beat England. But we'll have to wait to see how the coach will set up to have that confidence back that, yes, we can actually beat the European champions. Yes, when you look at the continental titles, Nigeria has 9 continental titles. England has just 1. I mean, we beat the first. So that tells you a whole lot, yes. Because, the Republic of Ireland coach said something at the press conference when I asked him some questions. concerning the Super Falcons. He said, look, the FIFA ranking did not do justice to the Super Falcons. That we were looking at the ranking before they played the Super Falcons. But after playing them, they understand that ranking should be, shredded and taken away. That we shouldn't look at the ranking because of how fast it can. When you have a Tony Payne who can run ragged all through 90 minutes, then you understand what you're facing. And some of them said they want to see Opanos here play. Some of them said they want to see Opanos.
We've got former Super Falcons player Aisat Yusuf. She's joining us on the show from Helsinki in Finland. My colleague Cecilia Omorogbe is right there in Brisbane, Australia. Yemi Adebayo, my partner on the show, is in Lagos with Kehinde Idris. Aisat Yusuf played for the Super Falcons for 13 years. She has 86 caps. She won 4 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, went to 3 World Cups and the Olympics. So she comes with so much experience as regards the Super Falcons and has so much success. So Aisat, you've been talking about this confidence that the Super Falcons need to use to get into the game against England. Now tell us, what's the quality in this current team? I've just read out a little bit of your resume and you achieved success with the Super Falcons. This current team, what's their quality that can do it for them against England?
Yeah, first of all, what actually gave me this confidence was because I know those players in the national team now are really unique. For example, this is my 15th year of retirement. And if I have a look at during my playing time, the privilege that those players have now, we don't have a lot of those opportunity because back in those days, we have a lot of local players playing the national team, maybe 6 or 7 players abroad, in line of Messi, Magbenya, all of that. But you can see now that all the players in Falcons now, if you take a look at individuality, where they play and how they play, I think only 1 or 2 players in the Nigerian League for this present team that went to the World Cup. And you can see that these girls are there not just for Jamboree. They have the confidence that they're going for this World Cup, regardless of what happened in camp. Because before this World Cup, and I would like it or not, there's a lot of some shit happens that they couldn't be able to express because they know what is in their front and what they want to achieve. And for the fact that these players are playing abroad, good and fine, I understand that England have a lot of experienced players, they're based abroad, they are Europeans and all of that. But that does not mean that we African players or the Super Falcons don't have their own individual experience. And all these players that are playing abroad, they played against, most of these players are played in the different European countries. So regardless of the quality that the England has, I'm very much optimistic that Super Falcons have the quality, have the players that can make this the game be a reality. And they can win England if only they work together as a team. Just like what Cecilia said, the setup is very important. Nobody know yet who is going to start from the starting of the game, the coach tactics, or maybe the formation that they're going to play. And that is very important. Just like what the England coach said. So when they play against the Chinese, they don't actually press them, the defenders a lot. So in that case, they wouldn't know how good that their own defender was because they have more of the attacking area. But in this game that we have with the England, I think we need someone that will be very aggressive at the top. I'm talking about the striker and the wings. At the same time, we need a very creative midfield at the midfield. Just like because nobody knows who's going to start the game. But for me as a person, I would prefer Rashidat to start from because he's really good at keeping the ball. But if you don't play as a team, that's the only way we're going to have a problem. And like I said, my confidence with these girls is because I knew that in their different clubs, they play amazing football. And in the national team as a team, regardless of the poor preparation before the World Cup, I think they'll be playing well against Canada, against Australia. And they'll be doing amazingly well. If they could go with this same spirit, and if definitely they're going to go far. I don't see anything that is too superb or to make them feel jittery playing against England. It's a game of 11-11. So I think they should just go with the same spirit and have more extra value. So that's
I know. We'll take your confidence and drop it right there in Brisbane. Cecilia will take you to the Super Falcons. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's almost midnight in Helsinki, so let me let you go. Have a good night's rest. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's actually a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Awesome. That's it from our Super Falcons player, Aisat Yusuf, speaking to us on the show. Let me go to Brisbane. Cecilia is standing by. Cecilia, Aisat kept saying teamwork, play as a team, play as a team. Right here in England, local media, I was listening to them. I didn't want to say anything. They said that all the Nigerian team are, by the way, they described us as lowly rated Nigerian team, and that all we've got is Asisat Oshoala and Chiamaka Nadozie. Are they bluffing?
Yeah, I think they wouldn't know what hits them when they get on the field of play, because Ireland suspected that. Australia had so much confidence. I mean, Australian coach actually admitted that when he saw that Asisat wasn't on the lineup starting 11, that he felt, okay, fine, we can press them, score as much as 3 goals before going into halftime. Hey, they were shocked. You know, they had to, it was 3-1 down until 11 minutes added time when they were able to get one back. So that should tell them. And if they had listened to the Republic of Ireland coaches saying that FIFA ranking should be shredded, that does not represent what the current crop of Super Falcons are. I think they haven't really watched Nigeria's game. Yes, we were lowly rated. Yes, we were one of those teams that were least prepared for this tournament. But from what the Super Falcons have done, if they hadn't seen anything, that means I'm hoping, I'm praying that they should be shocked on Monday and know that, yes, the lowly ranked Super Falcons can actually beat them. As I mentioned earlier, when it comes to continental titles, England cannot even compare with Nigeria. That's a fact. The fact that they have more investment, infrastructure, development, and a bigger league, that's the only thing they have against Nigeria, really. Because if you look at our players, I've mentioned that we had some players that haven't played at this tournament. You know, Glory hasn't played. Kwanze hasn't played. So they haven't even seen these qualities. They keep talking about Asisat Oshoala. Maybe because of what Barcelona did to Chelsea. I mean, that's saying that it's reflecting, you know, like they're looking at the Champions League and just seeing only Asisat. They have a lot actually waiting for them. Because what I've seen with the Super Falcons of Nigeria, there happens to be a team, when they push them, you know, they have a way of soaking pressure. And then when they decide to retaliate, I mean, you won't see them coming. And then it comes. So that's something we should be expecting from Coach Randy Wardrum when he's going to set up against England. Something different, something they wouldn't even. It may not even start the so-called assistants they are all talking about. It might just have to start another player, because this is not, you know, this is the knockout stage. It might have to start and bring in Asisat Oshoala in the second half, and by then maybe the likes of Lauren James and Bruce and Chloe Kelly will be tired out already, because I know, yes, they're younger, they could run for 90 minutes. I mean, when you mentioned, if Rashida Ajibade is starting, I mean, she can run. Uche Nakano also, we've seen what she's able to do, you know, when you have both of them from the flank. I think if it's set up so well, we don't know what will happen against England. But I think if the English press is actually like talking, they should go ask the Australian journalists what happened after the football talks, and then they will learn from
right. Okay, let me give it to Yemi. Yemi, whether you have a question or two for Cecilia before we let her go?
I mean, I wanted to ask about, she's talked about, you know, confidence and everything in the team. But, of course, just the same way I said it on Sunday, people will take any information they can get from Cecilia right about now. So, I mean, what can you tell us if there's any injuries, if, I mean, some of the things they're doing in camp in terms of, although Austin has said that the party should stop anyway, but, you know, the things in the camp, I'm very sure a lot of people want to know that.
Yeah, I think basically, there are no injury worries at all from what we've heard so far from the team, because the coach has already talked about managing the players, even the ones that had enough coming into the team, and by now they've been able to recover from that. The only thing is we'll not be having Deborah Abiodun in the round of 16, because FIFA had to review that red card decision, and of course she's suspended for 3 games, and she wasn't really happy about that, so she was ruled out for round of 16. That's the only player that we know that will not be playing at this moment. Then every other player you have in the team, they are all willing and no injury worries. Nothing really happening in camp, because when I mean nothing, there's nothing like negative, because all the players are happy together. We've seen when I was with them today, you know, when they had that out in Manskuta right here in Brisbane, they just had this. They were relaxed. There's just this relaxed atmosphere. Okay. Yes, we're into the round of 16. This is when the real journey begins, because group stage you have opportunity of playing 3 games. But now, if you lose, you know you're going home. So they understand what that means. And that's why we're not to mention party stuff. Of course, party has already started, because these players want to focus on the game against England. And they understand how important it is. They play for the country, they play for their family, play for themselves. And of course, we know what it means, playing for the money.
Okay, you've said the money like 2 times. All right, Cecilia Amoro, we want to thank you for your time. And hopefully we'll do this again tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, that's our colleague Cecilia Morogwe filling us in with what is happening right there in Brisbane. And that brings us to the end of this segment brought to you by Stanbic IBTC, the official partner of the insurance partner of the Super Falcons. Let's quickly listen to some of the residents in Brisbane, what they had to say, of course, with regards to the performance of the Super Falcons.
Yeah, it's good having the Super Falcons here for another 1 week. My community is excited. We all have gathered round. We brought the drums to the stadium to make sure that we give them the full support. Yeah, and look, we're excited. Our kids are so happy. They've made us proud, beating Australia. So we're very proud of what they've done. Yeah, I think the girls are determined. They've been very disciplined during the game. You can see that they're very focused. And yeah, beating Australia, the host, and you can see what Australia has done to Canada this evening. So for them to beat Australia and Australia beating Canada 4-0, you know that our girls they're very good. Well, playing against Ireland, I think everybody was taking it cool because you want to just reserve your strength for the game ahead.
All right, I was the president of the Nigerian community in Brisbane. All right, let's move on the show. Before we listen to some of the players that have been talking, let me allow you to say a thing or two. Maybe I'll drop my voice on it as well. I like Ajibade when she plays on the left. He showed against Australia. The defense, I don't think anything needs to change. Alimatu and the other lady, Uchebe, the goalkeeper, those guys are a given. Now, Payne, I don't think there's any, well, like Cecilia said, we're here to see one or two players maybe, but Payne as well. So it depends on how the coach mixes those three guys up front. Is Azizat going to play?
Onomonu.
Is Onomonu going to be on top? Is Uchenna Kanu going to be on the right? But I think Ajibade is deadly on the left. Yeah. On the strength of what she did against Australia. And if you look at the third game, it looked as if she was neutralized, but every time she comes back to the left wing, you see her take on two players, and there were worrying signs for the Irish.
I think, like you said, the first 5 players coming from the outfield player to the infield player, I'm talking Chiamaka and Adozie, and then the 4 defense line. The coach has not shown us he wants to play 3 at the back, it's 4. So you have Ashley Plumter, Demei, Ohale, and then you have Alozie, ever energetic. I think going forward, Alimata and Ide, for me, played 1 game, 2 games, sealed her place, confirmed. And then Ochebe, a fighter through and through all the way. And then you have
Payne in front.
Payne. I think Payne is that box-to-box midfielder that we have craved for, and she had shown that all the way. So I think up until that spot, there is
everything
no change.
Is fine.
But going up front, I think maybe, if I'm being listened to, I think Aziza looks like she's somebody who can read game at this point and then come in to do a lot of damage. Maybe Onomonu, Chiamaka, Okpara Nozie can start that game.
Because you're not going to get too many chances.
You're not going to. These girls are big, they are fast, they are technical, so you need somebody who can put them on their, especially putting their 2 central defenders
not allowing them to
go out at all.
All right.
So, if you do that for Rashida Ajibade, you said it all. I think from that left wing, she's deadly.
Better.
She's led, so you can do that. Then, for me, I think also the bench will play a marquee role. Whoever starts, however they get to set up and all of that, the reading from the bench, talking about the coach, and then the players who come in, I think will also be very, very, marquee
for
us.
You said if you were being listened to, I hope somebody's listening to you.
Let me use listening.
All right, let me use the floor to Austin. Probably has a thing or two to say, and of course we'll listen to the girls later on. But Austin, we've said a few things in terms of tactics. I don't know if you have anything to drop, just in case anybody's listening.
I think they're good. I like what they've done at this World Cup. They've stunned a lot of people. They've cleared the doubts of critics. We just need to support them at this stage of the competition. Lowly ranked side had Canada and Ireland in a group, and Australia, and they were able to get 5 points and still unbeaten at the competition. They deserve our accolades. If you take a look at this competition, I think on the performance from the group stage, Nigeria has done better than the United States of America.
Sure.
The defending champions. Sure. Yes, I said what I said. Go and watch it. Go see the Super Falcons against Australia. That's arguably the most entertaining match that I've seen and most competitive game that I've seen at the Women's World Cup so far. So let's give them their flowers. The mindset is very important, you know. To be the best, you must beat the best. England, they are European champions, and they come with so much pedigree and respect. And if you listen to Aisat and Cecilia, they mentioned because of the level of development that their women's football has enjoyed, and they're just winning the Euros for the first time. Unlike Nigeria, 9-time African champion, and everything that has done it for these ladies is just their talent. So they just need to believe in themselves. Hopefully, Randy Waldrum get the right, you know, starting lineup to go out there and do this. Let's listen to Ashley Prompter and Deborah Abiodun. They caught up with Cecilia in Brisbane and had this to say.
Now that we've done all our group games, all we'll do is kind of like sit back, recover, and then kind of see who we've got in the next round. Obviously, I think a couple of days ago I actually was in bed, I was thinking, it's going to happen that way, isn't it? It's going to happen where we play England, and honestly, I'll really look forward to that game. I know a lot of players on the team, and I grew up with a lot of them, so we'll put ourselves in the best position to be ready for that game.
It's a big honor, you know, to play my first match against Canada. I'm glad I got the chance to be part of the Super Falcons. It was quite unfortunate I got the red card, and it has not been easy, sincerely, because I mean, I don't want to get a red card, and but I'm so proud of the team. You know, they've been doing so well, playing each game, and the victory against Australia, victory against Ireland, and now we've just qualified round of 16, and hopefully it's just work in progress for us, and we'll do all our possible best to continue to put smiles on Nigerian faces out there. And personally, I'm so proud of the team, proud of everybody. Thanks to Nigeria for the support and all of that. I thought it was supposed to be a game or two at most, but hearing that it's 3 matches, I mean, I was so heartbroken, actually, and but nevertheless, I'm still proud of the team, and hopefully we get to qualify from the knockout stage, and I get to join the team.
So there's a game that was and it's the first building, but there's signs.
So that's it. Sorry, Deborah. She had a fantastic game against Canada, and sometimes football just happens. And I think about just 2 minutes to the end of that game, she got a red card. It is what it is. Yemi, Wednesday, more action at the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yeah, we'll go straight. As a matter of fact, we got carried away. We didn't even look at the Tuesday fixtures, and I'm very sure some of our viewers were probably wondering, you're saying we're playing this, you're playing this, you didn't show it to us. So I guess we just quickly do that. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, of course, the results, and even the fixture. What it's going to look like. We got carried away when we were discussing all of that. I'm very sure it's going to come up on the screen. I'll just quickly go to the screen. And so this is it. China losing to England. A goal to 6 was, it was a thrashing. Then, of course, the Danes defeated Haiti by 2 goals. These are Group D results. On the strength of these results, you now have what we have as the quarterfinal fixtures. That's going to come up on your screen. You also have Group E results, by the way. Portugal and the United States was goalless. Vietnam getting hit. 7 goals, the Netherlands topping Group E, but the United States qualify as well. All right, and for a confirmation of the quarter-final fixture, Nigeria will play against England, and that's what we've been talking about since. And the date is what you have on your screen. August 7, 2023. So let's go to what Austin talked about, which is tomorrow's fixtures. Probably going to be our party shot on the show tonight. Tomorrow's fixtures, what's going to happen right there at FIFA Women's World Cup. Jamaica will be up against Brazil. Brazil smarting from that loss against France. And France, having their own destiny in their own hands, will be up against Panama. These are the fixtures. Kaide Idris, in less than a minute, let me entertain your thoughts on this.
Yeah. I think Jamaica versus Brazil is the game for me tomorrow. Panama, France looks like a straightforward game. France would most likely win that. But for Jamaica, Brazil, on a good day, it would have been everybody tilting towards Brazil. But with what Jamaica had done in this World Cup, and then they have Shaw returning, I think this is the time for us to talk about a team that might shock the entire footballing world. Because some people feel this is Brazil's World Cup. They've never won it. And I think that shocker is going to happen, where Jamaica gets a point, gets to win, and then they qualify ahead of Brazil.
All right, let's go to Group G, which is what you have on our screen. Argentina and Sweden, South Africa and Italy. Will Banyana join the Super Falcons of Nigeria by qualifying for the next round? Let's allow Austin to solve that puzzle quickly as you can. Austin, do you think it's going to happen?
It might happen, I mean, we've seen stranger things at this World Cup. We saw what New Zealand did to Norway. We've seen what Colombia did to Germany. I watched the United States of America struggle today against Portugal. So yes, South Africa can believe, but what I love from that Group G is that Sweden will go ahead to top that group, and it will be the United States of America and Sweden in the round of 16. So if they give the sort of performance they gave today against Portugal, what we've seen of the Americans at the group stage, then they will be kissing this competition goodbye. I think that's how far we can go on the show tonight. From me in London, Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, that's a wrap on the show. Before I go, I want to say a big thank you to Kehinde Idris for joining us today. Hopefully, we'll do this again some other time.
Of course, we'll do it some other time. It's good to be here, and it's good to talk sports again.
All right. Cecilia was here earlier. She'll join us later. And, of course, we do hope that you enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Amy Adebayo. Bye-bye now.